I am big on wellness. And what I mean by that is I'm really big on having a wellness team. And something that's really important as we navigate these winter months is, what does your wellness team need to look like? So sometimes wellness can look different from the summer months to the winter months to the spring months. And I'm big on that. So something I just started up was Rolfing. And what it deals with, it's body work that actually deals with the connective tissue and the fascia in your body. And I just added that person to my team. And what was so dope about my experience with this particular body worker was we had these conversations about other wellness modalities that I was looking for in the area because I just moved here. And what I mean by just moved here, I've been down where I'm at for the last 3 years. So there's modalities that I have been looking for in the area that I couldn't find, that I just would go back to where I'm from and get those things taken care of there. So she joined my wellness team and she really helped my body just start realigning. And I'll create another video showing you what it is. And so you can learn a little bit more about it. But during the winter months, I challenge you and charge you with how to create a wellness team that can support you during the winter months. So something that I've done is that I have prepped myself and I joined Pilates in July of this year. And I have been diligently going to Pilates. And I've also have pushed myself to go in the early morning so it can really set the tone and temperature for my day. What I've also increased is I've increased my acupuncture appointments, I've increased my massages, and I've increased my infrared and my floating, because I know that the winter months sometimes for me, it I have to slow down, but I know my body still needs assistance. So what I think is really important is really establishing a wellness team. And you're going to have on your wellness team people who are very consistent. So I have a holistic MD that I actually meet with. I have a meeting with her on Monday. But I meet with her during these times, the fall and the winter, actually every 6 to 10 weeks. So we check in on my emotions, we check in my energy field, we check in physically. This is around the time that we're doing my blood work and we're figuring out what supplements, what modalities do I need to really get me through these months. And so that person is consistent. My PCP is consistent, but I don't go to her unless I've exhausted all my other practitioners. So my acupuncturist, I will ask for a supplement if I need it. I'll talk to her about what I'm experiencing. So for the last couple of weeks, I've had a just high stress, and so I saw her weekly. And so she worked on my stress levels and she worked on my meridians of certain organs that will take stress, that takes stress a little bit hard. It hits them a little bit harder. So the acupuncturist is a consistent practitioner for me. My chiropractor is a consistent practitioner for me. And this Rolfing will be a consistent practitioner. So what she'll be doing over 10 to 14 weeks is really working on my connective tissue, really getting my body back to the alignment that it needs, the natural alignment. And then I will have this deep sense of relaxation, because I have to tell you, my first session, I felt so relaxed in a way that I've never felt before, and it really lasted. So you might be like, well, how do I build a wellness team? One of the things you can do is when you enter the office of these different practitioners, or when you're doing a consultation, you can tell them that you're really starting to build a team and you want to know if they want to be on the team. And something you can also do is telling them that you really honor their expertise. They're in places that you're not. They're receiving information that you're not. And you can tell them that that's information that you would love to hear. So the body worker, the person who was doing the roughing on my body last week, I was talking to her about just, I have fibrocystic breasts, and I was talking to her about thermography and that I couldn't find somebody down here. And she knew somebody. And then we were talking about cranial sacral, and I was like, yes, I love it. And she was telling me about somebody in the area that does that, right? So for me, after she told me that information, right, I went and scheduled an appointment for therm- therm- thermography session so I can get my whole body scanned of maybe areas in my body that I need to look out for that might have cancer, just so I can be in the preventative space. And so you can talk to them and let them know that you really would want to know information about their expertise and that you are really looking for a holistic approach to your healing and your health. And when you tell that to them, they're very open and they're going to give you experiences that they've had as a person personally, but also professionally. And they'll give you information that you wouldn't get otherwise. And so, one of the things I want you to also think about is, what is your temperament? What's your personality? How do you advocate for yourself? And what kind of practitioners do you want on your team? So, when I started first building my team in 2007, it came by way of an acupuncturist. And I had a cyst on my leg, and she told me, hey, Marcia, maybe you need to go see the nutritionist. You might be vitamin D deficient. So I said, okay. So I went to the nutritionist upstairs, and she said, hey, I need you to go see a chiropractor, and you're probably vitamin D deficient, and I need you to go ask your PCP for a vitamin D test. And at that time, they weren't giving your vitamin D test um, in your regular annual exam. You had to ask for it. And lo and behold, I was vitamin D deficient, like big time. And to the point I had to take the blue pills once a week to get my vitamin D up to the certain level that was optimal. And so that is where I started. So I had an acupuncturist, a nutritionist, and then a chiropractor. And then I had a massage therapist. The nutritionist really helped me with my food and my schedule. She really listened to me. So you really have to think about your communication style. How's that practitioner listen? Do they practice active listening? Do they hear you? Do they hear what you're not saying? So those are some of the things you got to think about how when you're building a wellness team, because it's really important, because your health is wealth, right? If you're not healthy, then there's things that you won't be able to do. So just think about that. And just think about what are the things right now that you're navigating that you need. And you can build it from there. I remember when I wanted to be a little softer energetically, emotionally, I had gone to a hypnosis. And how I looked for this hypnosis is that I needed this hypnosis to have a behavioral health background. And so she had a medical background. She was actually a psychiatrist. She was an older woman. She was in her 80s. And I got hypnotized. And then some things that happened due to age. And so one evening after my appointment, I knew I needed somebody that wasn't just a therapist, but also was dealing with energy that could get past my wall. And I found somebody. And I worked with her for like intensely for 2.5 years. And we worked on my healing. And we did different things. We did Native American medicine wheel. We did shamanism. We did energetic body dialogue and Reiki. And that's what I needed. And it's somebody I still consult with for me personally and professionally. But she's also become a mentor, a trainer. She's trained me in a lot of things and a healer for me. And also, she's helped me when I had mold in my house. She's like, hey, Marcia, I need you to do this, and this is what I need you to eat. So you get the mold and the things that are in your system out of your system. So I really want you to think about short term what you need on a wellness team and think about practitioners you currently have. And then long term, what are your long term health goals? How do you want your life to look? What's the lifestyle you're currently living, and what is the lifestyle you want to live? And really finding those practitioners that will help you get to that place. It is an ongoing process, but you got it. If you need any questions or if you need any help navigating the space, comment below and I'll answer your questions. And I look forward to interacting with you. Be well, be amazing, and most of all, be you.